Everyone ready? Good morning. So I'm excited to be here today to tell you about these retailers who are growing in our backyard and how you can do business with them. To think this past week I celebrated 20 years in Florida real estate. And I know it's hard to believe. I started in kindergarten, got started young. But in those 2 decades, a lot has changed. Last time I was up here, I was a tenant, sat on the panel. I was a big box tenant with bells. And I was sitting next to other big box tenants, junior anchors, restaurants. It was all very traditional. And today, we have an entertainment user, we have a franchisee that has modular units, we have a fashion, lifestyle jewelry user, and we have a fitness user. So a little bit different, and I think very reminiscent of what's occurring in the marketplace today. So without further ado, let me introduce our panelists. We have Shad Montgomery with Andretti Indoor Karting and Games. We have Randy Frank with Biggby Coffee. We have CB with Kendra Scott. And Regymen, say it right? Okay.
Got it.
Fitness with Edward Keith. And so we're going to kick off the intro with a video. And I must say, I was putting together the PowerPoint. My 10-year-old son saw this video for Andretti, and I'm in trouble when they come to Tampa because it's amazing. And I'm pretty much going to need a second job. So if any of you are hiring, come see me after. And let's take a look. So I hope you are all awake now. I know that this group needed a little bit more than coffee and mimosas to get going. And so we're going to start with Shad, and he's going to tell us what his role with the company is, what markets he's assigned to, and a quick overview of the brand, including how many stores they currently have throughout the chain and how many in Florida. There you go.
Thank you. So my name's Chad Montgomery. I am managing Andretti Karting's nationwide expansion. How many people in the room know Mario Andretti or the Andretti racing family? Good. So Andretti Indoor Karting and Games is an all-indoor family entertainment center in a partnership with the Andretti family. Based around go-karting, we have 3-level go-karting tracks in all of our facilities, bowling, laser tag, arcade games, a scratch kitchen, a full bar, meeting rooms. There's tons to do within the facility. We currently have 4 operating facilities, 2 in Atlanta, 1 here in Orlando, 1 in San Antonio, and then 2 under construction in Dallas, Texas, and Houston, Texas. It's an all-indoor facility. A big part of our business is birthday parties for young kids, and then another big part of the business is corporate events. So we dedicate about 10,000 square feet of our facility to corporate meeting space. So we'll have a company come in and buy out the entire facility for a Christmas party or something like that. In addition to that, it's a very, very strong weekend business. We do a lot of business Friday, Saturday, Sunday with just walk-in type business. As far as expansion plans, we're active in Tampa, South Florida, and up the East Coast. I'll save some more for my next couple slides.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm Randy Frank. Good morning. I'm the area representative for franchise sales in Central Florida for Biggby Coffee. My specific territories are Volusia, Flagler, Orange, and Duval. Of course, the entire state is wide open for franchise opportunities that could work outside those specific areas. If you didn't know already, Biggby Coffee is a full-fledged gourmet coffee shop. We do breakfast, lunch, pastries, smoothies, and much, much more. Our main competitors are Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, naturally. Biggby is a Michigan-based company with average store sales of over $582,000 annually. We've been serving lattes since 1995, and we have proven systems in place to make it ideal for entrepreneurs to open up multiple stores. We have a premium product. We got our own roasting facility. We do this old school European style of roasting called plateau roasting. The beans are never bitter, they're always better. And we are in 12 states, and we have about 300 stores, and one in which is in Ormond Beach. That's my store. I hope you came by. If not, you're more than welcome. And believe it or not, we just opened up a store in Indonesia. The area representative program that allows me to sell franchises, that just started last year. The best thing about it, you have to own a Biggby to sell a Biggby. So this will ensure support and longevity while we blow up the brand in Florida. There you go, my friend.
Thank you. All right, guys. My name is CB. I'm with Kendra Scott. We are a fashion lifestyle jewelry brand. We're out of Austin, Texas. Kendra started the company 17 years ago, and our first retail store was in 2009 out of Austin, Texas. Currently, we have over 100 stores open nationwide, and we have 4 major wholesale partners. We have Nordstrom's, Neiman Marcus, Von Maur, and Bloomingdale's. So we're very attainable. We're near everyone. To let you know a little bit about our company, Kendra has 3 core pillar values. Number 1 being family, number 2 fashion, and number 3 philanthropy. A lot of people don't know how critical these 3 pillars are to the brand. That's how we identify ourselves, and that's how we make sure that everyone coming in the door, they feel like family. And then right behind that, we hit them with the fashion. So Kendra's a dreamer, she's a visionary. She stays right on the cutting edge of everything fashion, doing a lot of international tour to stay on top of it. And then philanthropy is another big item to her. With the philanthropy piece, she really makes sure inside store we have on average between 100 to 110 in-store events every year, and that's per store. And that's us doing charitable donations with different organizations at a local, regional, even some national companies. So let's see. Color bar is what makes our company. And when I say it, that's the experience. So Kendra wants to make sure that our experience in our company is key and critical. The color bar is unique. You can make your own jewelry right there. You come in, and within 3 to 5 minutes, you have your own piece of jewelry. So it's just something amazing. We have bridal parties around it. We have birthday parties and a lot of business events. So here's some of our products that we currently hold. We have 3 Fine we introduced a few years ago. It just came out. So that's kind of new to us. But it's been doing incredibly well. We also have beauty and home products. And then here's a sneak peek of our typical store looks like when you walk in. It's very inviting. And then here's our current US portfolio. Just so you can kind of get a quick glance on where we're at nationally. And here's all of our product availability. It's a little bit kind of everywhere. So if you guys are in the Southeast, there's a lot. And then Florida, here's our actual stores here in Florida. We have 7 currently, and we have a lot of expansion goals this year. Right now, the last few years, we actually opened about 21 stores on average over the last 3 years, and we have a good amount still we're looking at for this year. We were planning for 15, but we'll see how that turns out. Next year we have 15, maybe 20, so we'll see. But again, my name's CB. I'm the director of real estate, and I do everything from national to international. So there you go, my friend.
Thank you. Hey guys, my name is Edward Nevan. I'm the founder and CSO of Regymen Fitness. We decided to give me the title of CSO because that's where I can cause probably the least amount of problems. So put our company together. Regymen Fitness is really exciting. We're in the boutique space. And we've got a video I want to show you real quick as we get started, I believe. Here we go. So our big tagline, guys, is disruption, and it's really disruption in the fitness space. So my job with the company and the markets we're covering right now, we're going to be growing domestically as far this year, and we're also going to be growing throughout Canada. We have a couple of partners that we're working with in that area as well. Really where we fit is how many people in this room work out? But how many people in this room love to work out? Yeah, kind of the hands drop. So you got your typical gym. We're not that typical gym. What we do is we are all about that fitness experience. So our biggest competitors in the space right now are groups like Orange Theory, groups like F45. They've come along, and Orange Theory years ago, they changed the way really retail views fitness. So we come in, as we open up, guys, we've done a total of 12 stores in our first 18 months. So we are growing rapidly. In Florida, we have 2 locations that are open right now, and we're really focusing on Tampa, Orlando, St. Pete markets. So again, ultimately what we want to do is change the way people view fitness. With typical boutiques, they do one thing. They only do one thing. It's always the same workout. We bring 3 platforms in under one roof, giving people a lot more choice. It's a lot higher energy. It's just a much more fun experience overall. At the end of the day, people can work out anywhere. With Regymen, we know they're going to stay involved with us and engage with us because it's like a rock concert when you're in there. We always call it sex on fire when you walk into that room. You walk in there, it doesn't matter what your mood is. You see that lighting, you hear that music, you're like, I want to do this. So we are putting our footprint throughout the country right now, and we're going to be bringing our boxes directly across the street or right next to our competition, and we're going to win. So that's who we are, guys, with Regymen Fitness. Pass it back down.
So we're going to talk about site specs right now. What do you need to get into a site? What is your prototypical size? What type of properties do you like to go into? Do you like to go into power centers or neighborhood centers, front and forward strips, regional malls? What type of deal types are you looking for? Are you looking to purchase? Are you looking to do build-to-suits, ground leases? And what's your preferred delivery condition? Also, tell us a little bit about your target customer and what other co-tenants you want to be next to.
Sure, so for Andretti Indoor Karting and Games, today our prototype is 88,000 square feet. We then require about 350 parking stalls. So a very efficient site for us is 6 acres. Our preference is to purchase the land and self-develop. That's where we've had our best luck. If purchasing is not an option, we would then look to do a build-to-suit. Build-to-suits and repurposing existing buildings can be a little bit tricky for us because we have this 3-level go-karting track which demands very wide column spreads and clear heights. That's why it's best for us to build our prototypical building. As far as location requirements, we're looking for super regional sites. Customers will drive anywhere from 60, 90 to 120 minutes to come to Andretti's. So we have a big reach. Our flagship store is just across the street here, and we're pulling customers from Jacksonville and Tampa regularly on the weekend. So people have no problem driving 2 hours to come to Andretti's. As far as co-tenancies, we're big fans of being next to other leisure offerings. Great to be next to a golf user, a movie theater, an iFly or something like that. We're big fans of clustering entertainment users, so customers have somewhere that they'll continuously come back to when they want to have some fun. Another thing that's real important to note about Andretti's is our typical venue is bringing in about 500,000 people a year. Our flagship venue just across the street is seeing closer to 800,000 visitors per year, so there's a lot of traffic and a lot of unique visits coming through the facility. Our customer profile is, we look for strong demographics, of course, and then another thing to note is we look for a strong office market near the venue. It's real important to us because a big part of our business is the corporate events. All
right, what are we looking for? Traditionally, we look up for walk-up or drive-through locations in strip centers and standalones. Our average stores are about 1,300 to 1,700 square feet. In a perfect scenario, what we would look for is a width of 27.5 feet, perfect scenario 41 feet long. Now the reason for that is the width. We have a box which is the same in every Biggby. That's the production line, that's where the drinks are made, that's where the magic is gonna happen. So we certainly look for that width. We prefer white box, 1-inch water line, 120 electric, 1 ton HVAC per 300 square feet. We seek language that prohibits someone else selling 5% or more of coffee-based drinks. Pretty typical stuff. Traffic count over 30K. We like to be on the right side of the road for morning traffic, heading to work. Daily habits is our bread and butter. But what I'm really excited to come here and share with you about today is B-Cubed. It's relatively new. It's our modular building, drive-through and walk-up. It's high quality, fully equipped, 349 square feet. It's pre-plumbed, it's pre-wired, and we install them in parking lots or greenfield locations. So imagine a Lowe's, Publix, whatever have you, plop that right in the front. Also, what I fondly call the real estate leftovers, those swaths of land that are too small to do a lot of things with, we could do a lot in a small place. Installation is 1 to 2 days. You could be driving to work and be like, oh, they're building a B-Cube. On the way back from work later that day, you could grab a cup of coffee. It's ideal for the franchisee because when they're done with their lease, they can pick it up and move it. They own it. Appealing for the landlord, you can get a 5 to 10 year lease and you don't have those traditional leasehold improvements. Also, if you look at it, it's appealing to the eye. It's like a rock star billboard, brings a lot of attention to your plaza.
All right, guys, I'm back. All right, so really what we look at from site specifications are a few things. Our typical footprint is anywhere, I mean, our range is, I think our smallest is 800 right now, all the way up to about 3,200 square feet. 3,200 square feet is kind of one off, that's the flagship in Austin. Our portfolio range we really like to stay around is about 1,500 to 1,600 square feet. That kind of gives us the best rate of return on everything. Really what we like to look for is about 20 linear feet. When it comes down to the center type, Kendra has a great vision. She loves trying to find that diamond in the rough, which doesn't exist, which is a little home or house next to retail. So we have 2 of those in our entire portfolio. But outside of that, you know, she loves lifestyle fashion centers. She loves indoor malls. Really anywhere we can make it very easy on the customer. She wants to make sure the customer has easy access to parking and any other kind of valet or accommodations that's tailored really around that customer. When it comes to shapes on storefronts, I know our store development team, they love the square rectangles because it's easy for them. Kendra, she's actually involved on the design process of everything. So she likes the fun, quirky shapes, whether it's a triangle, you know, some kind of weird polygon, whatever it is. She likes that, get creative with it. So that makes it really fun. And the one thing Kendra wants to make everyone always to know is that when you walk into a Kendra Scott store, it feels like a celebration. And she can't emphasize that enough. So she always likes to offer drinks on her and a little hors d'oeuvres and things like that. So that's pretty much it for Kendra Scott, though. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I messed up.
It's okay.
Maybe, okay. They didn't tell me it's gonna be technical here today. So, guys, what we look for ultimately is with Regymen, we wanna be with high-end grocers that anchor that shopping center. Specifically, I mean, there's so many out there, but the Whole Foods, the Fresh Markets, the Publixes, things like that. We want high-end grocers, and we also want to be inline retail. So as we put spots up, we can take it from a build to suit. We also take it very easily from a vanilla box. The unique thing about Regymen as a franchise is the fact that I call us a Lego and a Transformer at the same time. What I mean by that is, as we do our build outs, the way we set our rooms up, it's very modular in design. So as fitness evolve and trends evolve, we're able to change our programming to meet that. So that's very unique in that sense of we're really looking for that right real estate. We can make that space work. Ultimately, we're looking for 3,200 to 4,200 square feet. We prefer the end cap. If not, obviously anywhere again that's inline, high grocery anchored is where we want to be. Our co-tenants, besides the grocers, our average consumer guys, our target demographic is between 25 and 45 years old. Most of our people make an income of 90K or higher. So we have a very desirable member for most retailers, most shops. Trying to get to the picture. I might not be able to. I don't think so. Is there a fast forward?
You want me to get to it?
Yes, if you don't mind. So our most important, as we try to find what I'm looking for here, our most important thing, guys, ultimately is, again, grocery anchored. Parking is a big thing. Most of our clubs will max out at 36 users at one time, but it's a 1 hour workout. So we're 15 minutes in between, so we need that enough parking to get the people in and out. One of the biggest complaints about a lot of boutiques is they don't have enough parking. It makes it difficult for people. Going back to kind of what our space will look like on the inside, again, this is something that a lot of landlords, a lot of development groups we work with want, because it's the feel of a high-end nightclub. It's also the feel of these dark rooms, the way people feel in them. It's no one's paying attention to you necessarily. You can go in the corner and you feel like a rock star because you got the spotlight, but at the same time, you don't feel people looking all over you. So again, these are really, really key factors for us. But in closing this, key points, 3,200 to 4,200 square feet, high-end grocery anchored. So that's it.
Okay. Well, so now we are going to talk a little bit about expansion plans. We're going to talk about where you want to be, what markets are you growing in, how many stores that you want to develop, and what pipeline time frame are you looking at right now?
Sure, so Andretti currently has 4 open venues and 2 under construction. I think growth for us will be 2 new venues in 2020 and then 3 per year starting in 2021. It may not sound like a lot, but these are very big boxes, lots of land, and very, very expensive to build. They're certainly not for the faint of heart. So in Orlando, we have our flagship here in Orlando. We're also active in Tampa and South Florida. I think we'll do 1 unit in Tampa to start, see how it trades, and then potentially do a second. In South Florida, we'd like to do 2 to 3 units. And then we're also opening up a site search in Jacksonville. Jacksonville makes a lot of sense for Andretti because we have facilities in Orlando and Atlanta, so it's kind of the midpoint. I think as far as markets, Jacksonville is probably one of the smaller markets we're looking at today. We're looking at markets that have ideally 2 million people or more. For the right market, we can dip down to 1.5 million. Outside of Florida, we're expanding up the East Coast. We're hitting all the big markets really east of Texas. No plans to venture west of Texas for the next couple of years. I think we'll stay plenty busy in the middle of the country and the Northeast. We'd love to work our way up through Charlotte all the way up to the New Jersey, New York area, and then we're also opening up site searches in the Midwest. I hope to open 3 a year starting in 2021.
As I shared with you before, we're in 12 states. We have just about 300 stores, 1 in Florida. Personally, I will open 50 stores within 10 years. Remember, our systems are set up for multiple stores, so many owners will open 1, 2, 3, etc., and so on. Those owners will be eligible to become an area rep like me, and they'll sell their own stores. So in the next couple of years, you're going to see a lot of those Bs all around Florida. Biggby Coffee will grow from 300 stores to 1,500 coffee shops by 2029. I shared with you my specific territories. Florida's wide open, and look forward to working with you to help us grow the brand.
Thank you. All right, so our current expansion goals are a lot. We have international taking on a lot right now for 2020 focus, as well as right now US, of course. So domestically for 2020, we're already looking at that year currently. and we're looking at opening probably about 15 to 20 domestic stores. Right now, an emphasis, the Southeast we do really well in. So right now we're looking at like Alabama, Louisiana, Florida still, even though we have 7 stores. We're just making sure cannibalization factors aren't any issues there. And then outside of the Southeast, we really have a strong emphasis currently on the Northeast, building the brand out. We opened our New York store 2 years ago in Soho, and we're now really starting to establish the Northeast presence for us. Outside of those 2 markets, I mean, really the entire US, we're constantly evaluating. We have about a total of 70 markets we're under the microscope, waiting for the right space to come available. So really feel free to reach out to us and let us know. I'm your main point of contact, so thank you.
For us, guys, like I said, we did 12 stores in our first 18 months. We are a franchise group. Right now, we currently have 5 more stores in development. Our plans on expansion are we see us doing another 20 to 25 locations in 2020. We're doing really well in the Southeast right now. We've got stores from Austin, Texas. We're opening one in the Huntsville market right now. We're getting ready to hit the Atlanta market as well as Georgia. We do get a lot of interest from all around the country though. The Regymen brand itself, everyone's looking at us as truly being that next big boutique brand to run with the Orange Theories of the world. What we look for ultimately, guys, is we look for around 15,000 rooftops. We don't need huge demographics to pull from, but like I said earlier, 15,000 rooftops, average income of around 90K. We're looking at around 40 to 60,000 people there. We have the ability, we built this team early on, so we do have the ability to expand rapidly. We've got a team that's ready as we bring more franchises on. The one thing that's unique about Regymen is as we bring a franchisee through the process, we get them open, and we get them open relatively quickly. So that's a big thing. That's something we pride ourselves on more than anything else. Again, with expansion markets all across the country, we're capable of doing that, and then internationally, we're looking at Canada.
All right, so now we're going to talk about site submittal. How do we get the sites to you, and how do we make your life easier by giving you the right information? Do we contact a broker? Do we talk to someone in corporate? Sort of what's that process look like?
Sure. So I'm working on Andretti's, national expansion. Florida specific, we're working with David Kahn in the Tampa area and Terry Salzman in South Florida. For any submittals in Orlando or Jacksonville, you can reach out directly to me. I think what we look for is, a package and a story on the site. It's got to be super regional. It's got to be near a strong network of roads, ideally with highway visibility. Near theater, near other users. So we're happy to look at anything you guys would like to submit, and I would encourage everybody to check out our place just across the street on Universal Boulevard, and we'd love to do a deal with you guys.
All right, if you want more information about Biggby or you want the easy route to send brochures, you can go to Biggby.com. That has everything you need to know. If you want to send a brochure, contact me personally. It's real easy. My email address is rfrank@Biggby.com. You can come visit me at the store in Ormond Beach. I'm there quite often. If I'm not, I got the most friendly and accommodating staff in the world. And Facebook, Instagram, Biggby Coffee Ormond. I'm on LinkedIn, Randy Frank. Really easy to get a hold of. So I look forward to seeing those sites. Thank you.
All right, so to make things easier, everything will be submitted to me. Email is super easy, cb@kendrascott.com. Really making sure we have a good emphasis around co-tenancy. That's the Lululemons, Madewell, Free People, Apple, of course. Those are kind of the main things we like to make sure, because a lot of times I tend to get some of those one-offs where it's a piece of land for sale, and unfortunately we don't buy land and develop it. So submit everything to me. Kendra is still very involved with everything, so she is actually the person reviewing these once we kind of get to the next stage. So between her and the executive team, they still touch everything that happens real estate. So nice and simple.
Our site selection, guys, it goes through, we work with Windsor Real Estate out of Atlanta. Dan will be here today. We've actually got a booth inside. So that's how we started. We work with that group, they find it. Obviously, every franchisee as they come through, they work with myself and also a gentleman, Nick Bennings, who's our COO over here. Nick handles quite a bit of the real estate as well. More than anything else, what we look for is simply just a flyer and contact info. From there, we start to go pull our own demographics, find out, is this going to be a solid fit for us? So it's a very simplistic process at this point in time.
So we have a few minutes to open the floor to some questions. Does anyone have some questions that you would like to ask the panelists? I think we have a microphone somewhere, but I'm not exactly sure where that may be. What makes Biggby coffee different than the others?
A lot of reasons. We got a premium product. We have our own roasting facility. Our coffee is fantastic. We have an inviting environment. It's not intimidating at all. We engage the customer. We're very community driven. We can kind of cut loose and have fun with our customers because it's backed by a great premium product. Also, the guys that started it in 1995, they're still heading the show. It's all franchised. The co-founders are still at the top of the game. And come on in and see how different it is. You'll love it.
Next question. Eric?
No, you got it. Regymen is all class based. So we're on anywhere from 10 to 14 workouts a day. It's a pre-sign up system. So people book their classes in advance to come in. It's not an open gym format at all.
Next question. Not enough mimosas? No? Ooh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So after we end the session, we'll all be off to the side here. If you want to come speak to any of us, ask us some questions one-on-one, maybe that you don't want to ask to the room, feel free to come up and talk to us for a second. Oh wait, we have more questions. Okay, someone had mimosa. Go.
No, I didn't have a mimosa, but a question on the coffee unit that you built in Ormond. What was your build-out cost for your standard store? Total build-out.
Typically, it's around $90,000, give or take.
Was that from Vanilla
Thank you.
Shell?
You're welcome.
Is that from like a Vanilla Shell or from?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, so afterwards you can come up, you can talk to us, and then right after this we're going to start our special industry groups. And we have a whole bunch. We have capital markets, development design architecture, leasing roundtables, which I will be leading one on understanding Florida demographics because we're a little odd here, so I'll explain that. Property management, public-private partnership, and I think that's it. So they're all up on the second level by where registration is in those different rooms. And then this afternoon, we're going to be having the pop-ups, right? And the pop-ups are the first time we're having them here. They're very similar to what was between North and Central Hall at Recon. And they're going to be right on the floor. So if you take row 1700 and just go straight back, they're running pretty every hour or so. And there's different quick topics, so you can get quick content on the floor. And we'll have them again tomorrow, which they're going to be retail focused. So all the retailers will be speaking every half hour from 9:30 to 11:30. So thank you so much. I've enjoyed speaking with you all, and thank you again.
Thank you, guys. Like she said, if anybody wants to talk to any of the speakers, they're going to kind of be hanging out right over here. But please do move on to the SIGs, which, like she said, are going to be up on the main floor there. I also wanted to just say, during lunchtime today, you can actually cross from the show floor into here directly. You don't have to go up and down the stairs like we had to in the past. So where those black curtains are will be open at lunchtime, and you can just come on over. And I really hope to see you all there for our keynote speaker. Thanks.